In 1983, the quiet, sun drained streets of Manhattan Beach, California, hit a nightmare that would tear families apart, bankrupt the city, and become the longest, most expensive criminal trial in American history. 7 teachers, hundreds of children, allegations of sodomy, animal sacrifice, secret tunnels, satanic orgies, and flights in hot air balloons. 15 million taxpayer dollars, 7 years of courtroom hell, zero convictions. This is the McMartin Preschool case, the trial that birthed the Satanic Panic, destroyed innocent lives, and exposed how far adults will go to make children say what they want to hear. If you believe this story has a happy ending, you're already wrong. Hit the subscribe button and turn the lights down low, and let's descend into one of the darkest chapters in American true crime. So on August 12th, 1983, Judy Johnson, a 38-year-old divorced mother struggling with alcoholism and undiagnosed schizophrenia, notices her 2.5-year-old son, Billy, is having painful bowel movements. There is blood in his diaper. To Judy, this can only mean one thing. Someone at the McMartin Preschool has RAPED, her baby. 6 days later, she calls the Manhattan Beach Police Department and names the culprit, 25-year-old Raymond Buckley. The only male teacher at the school, run by his grandmother, Virginia McMartin, both in this photo here. She says Ray sodomized Billy, stuck his finger in the child's anus, and even wore a mask while doing it. Detective Jane Hogue takes the report. By August 30th, little Billy is interviewed on camera. He says nothing happened. He can't identify Ray from photos, but Judy keeps calling the police, each time adding new, increasingly bizarre details. Ray dresses as a cop, a minister, Santa Claus. Ray took Billy to a car wash where he was molested in front of strangers. Ray jabbed scissors into Billy's eyes and ears. He stapled his nipples. Killed a horse with a baseball bat in front of the class to scare them into silence. Police quickly dropped the investigation. Well, Ray Buckley is arrested on September 7th anyway, just to calm Judy Johnson down. He's released hours later for lack of evidence. Most people would have stopped there. But on September 8th, 1983, Police Chief Harry Kuhlmeyer makes the single most catastrophic decision of the entire case. He mails a form letter to 200 McMartin parents that reads, in quotes, "We are asking for your help. Please question your child to see if he or she has been a witness to any crime or if he or she has been a victim. Some of the crimes reported are oral sex, fondling of genitals, buttocks, or chest area, and sodomy, possibly committed under the pretense of taking the child's temperature." The letter lists Ray Bucky by name. Within days, terrified parents are grilling toddlers over dinner tables, and the nightmare explodes. October 1983. The district attorney brings in a brand new agency called the Children's Institute International, CII, run by a social worker named Key McFarland. A woman with no forensic training, no law enforcement background, and a burning belief that children never lie about sexual abuse. Hmm. So, McFarland and her team interview nearly 400 children over the next 6 months using anatomically correct dolls, puppets, and a technique that will later be condemned worldwide as the gold standard of how not to interview kids. They isolate children for hours. They tell them all the other kids are already talking. They praise them when they accuse, scold, and shame them when they deny. One interviewer is caught on tape saying, "You're being a bad girl if you don't tell. All the other smart kids have told me everything." Another threatens a child, "If you don't say Ray did it, I'm going to tell your friends you're dumb." Children who insist nothing happened are interviewed again and again, sometimes 10, 15 times, until they finally break and give the adults what they want. By March 1984, CII declares 360 children have been sexually abused at McMartin, many in satanic rituals. The stories get wilder. Teachers slaughtered rabbits and smeared the blood on kids' faces, and they flew through the sky in hot air balloons to abuse children at remote farms. They flushed kids down toilets into secret tunnels where mass celebrities molested them. I mean, I'm not sure at what point. I mean, I know where I would have stopped, but you know. Oh goodness. One child identifies Chuck Norris from a photo lineup. Another says teacher stuck her head in a toilet full of feces and pulled the chain. The media loses its mind. KABC TV reporter Wayne Satz is sleeping with Key McFarland. Conflict of interest? I think so. On March 22nd, 1984. Well, we know that this guy is sleeping with Key McFarland, and he's always siding with the prosecution in his stories. What the public doesn't know yet is that they are sleeping together. And then on March 22nd, 1984, a grand jury indicts 7 people. Virginia McMartin, 76 years old, her daughter Peggy McMartin Bucky, Peggy's daughter Peggy Ann, Peggy's son Ray Bucky, and 3 female teachers, Marianne Jackson, Betty Rader, and Babette Spittler. 115 counts of child molestation. 2 months later, the indictment balloons to 321 counts involving 48 children. Ray Bucky is rearrested and denied bail. The preschool is padlocked. Parents from a group called CII Parents United and start digging under the school themselves, convinced there are secret tunnels full of animal bones and pornographic videos and photos. They find nothing but old trash. But the myth of the tunnels is born. Now, the preliminary hearing lasts 20 months, from 1984 to 1986, longer than most murder trials. Children take the stand and fall apart. Their stories collapse under basic questioning. One girl says she was abused 39 times but can't remember a single date. Another says Ray flew. When asked how, she says he had a cape. Medical evidence is presented by Dr. Astrid Hager, claims she found microscopic scars on children's anuses, proving violent penetration. Years later, independent experts will say those scars were normal anatomical variants. The original complainant, Judy Johnson, never testifies, and by 1985, she is hospitalized for acute paranoid schizophrenia. She dies alone in December 1986 of liver failure caused by chronic alcoholism. Her son, Billy, never once identified Ray Bucky. In January 1986, new DA Ira Reiner, horrified by the weakness of the case, drops all charges against 5 defendants. Only Peggy McMartin Bucky and her son Ray remain. The prosecution now says Ray molested children while his mother watched and did nothing. So now, July 13th, 1987. The jury selection begins for what will become the longest criminal trial in American history. 30 months. Cost $15 million. The prosecution calls 7 medical experts. The defense can only afford 1. Children testify on closed circuit TV, a brand new law written specifically for this case. One boy admits on the stand he only accused Ray because his mother promised him a trip to Hawaii if he did. Another child says the interviewer showed him pictures of Ray, Bucky, and said, "This is the bad guy." A jailhouse snitch named George Freeman claims Ray confessed to him. Freeman later admits he lied in dozens of cases for reduced sentences. The defense uncovers bombshell after bombshell that the prosecution hid. Judy Johnson's full psychiatric records, videotapes of children saying nothing happened, then being badgered until they changed their stories, letters from parents admitting they coerced their kids. Ray Bucky taking the stand for 23 days. He denies everything. Peggy Bucky testifies for 21 days. She cries when she says, "I will never hurt a child in my life." January 18th, 1990, after 2.5 years, the jury returns. Peggy McMartin Bucky, not guilty on all 65 counts. Ray Bucky, not guilty on 52 counts. Hung jury on 13. 9 of the 12 jurors later tell the media they believe Ray is innocent and the case should never have been brought. Prosecutors immediately announced a second trial on the remaining counts. May 1990. Now keep in mind, this thing started in 1983. Now we're already in May of 1990. Ray Bucky, now 32, faces trial again, alone. This time, only 8 counts, 3 alleged victims. The jury deliberates for 10 weeks. Deadlocked again. 11-1 for acquittal on most counts. July 27th, 1990. District Attorney Ira Reiner finally drops all remaining charges. Ray Bucky walks out of court after 1,987 days behind bars, never convicted of anything. The reason why he stayed behind bars all that time, he was denied bond. He couldn't even get bond to get out. The McMartin Preschool is bulldozed in 1991. Virginia McMartin dies in 1995 at the age of 88, still protesting her innocence. In 2005, the recantations and the legacy. In 2005, one of the original child accusers, now an adult, comes forward to the Los Angeles Times. He says, "I lied. They kept asking me the same questions again and again until I just started making stuff up to make them happy. I remember thinking, if I say Ray did it, they'll finally leave me alone." He's not the only one. Several former McMartin children now in their 30s and 40s admit the same thing. The tunnels? In 1990, an archaeologist hired by desperate parents claimed to find evidence. Every independent expert who reviewed his work called it junk science, old plumbing, trenches, and gopher holes. Key McFarland never faced charges, and she went on to train child interviewers nationwide. The Satanic Panic she helped ignite led to dozens of copycat cases. The Emeralds in Massachusetts, Kelly Michaels in New Jersey, and the Little Rascals Daycare in North Carolina. Hundreds of lives ruined. Most overturned on appeal, but zero evidence of organized satanic abuse ever found anywhere. The McMartin preschool case wasn't about protecting children. It was about adults so terrified of being wrong that they destroyed innocent people to prove that they were right. 7 defendants, 7 years, $15 million. And in the end, the only thing proven beyond a reasonable doubt was how easy it is to make a child say anything you want. You willing to never stop asking. If this case left you speechless, do me a favor, smash that like button, leave a comment with the word tunnels so I know you made it to the end, and subscribe for more stories that prove truth is darker than fiction. I will say this, when I was researching this case, I vaguely remember the trial. 1983, I was in the 1st grade, but by the time it had ended in 1990, I was about 14. So, I do remember this trial. There was a HBO movie made called The McMartin Trial that had James Wood playing one of the defense attorneys in it. Um, Henry Thomas played Ray Bucky. There's a Mercedes Rules, and I think she plays the female prosecutor. But very long movie. I rewatched it recently to prepare for this, and it was interesting because it literally follows the script and what the common belief is for this case, meaning these people were innocent, nothing ever happened to these kids. But and however, um, Discovery, or no, so the Oxygen Channel did their own little documentary on it about 7, 8 years ago, and that one's different. That one actually is interviewing parents and some of the children that were victims. And all these people, all these parents, all these kids, and there was, like, one girl specifically, and then parents of a boy that the boy never came on there, but they believe something had happened. These people all believe that Ray Bucky is guilty and that, their child definitely had issues for the rest of her life. And the mom, the girl that was in it, she's a mom with her own kids. She even said that she's still in therapy because of it. So it's interesting because, yes, you can plant false memories in people. You can convince a child to believe anything if you try hard enough. Now, if she was convinced that this happened, could she still be feeling that belief to this day? I don't know. But I do say, based on everything I've seen, read, and watched on this case, I do believe the McMartins were innocent of the charges. And one thing they did not add to this was Judy Johnson, the mother of the child that started all this. She wrote many a letter, made many an accusation. She even accused the father of her child because she was divorced, even accused him of molesting her son. So not or there was another time the police showed up there because she was convinced the milkman was trying to get to her son. I don't know how valid any of what she was saying actually was. I really don't know. But I don't know. But in my opinion, based on everything I've read and seen on this, I do believe these people were innocent. But give me your opinion, give me your thoughts in the comments. I do believe they were innocent though. So, but like I said, if this left you speechless, smash that like button and leave a comment with the word tunnels. It's not hard to do. So subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. Doesn't cost anything. And if you follow this all the way through, it's even better for me. And I will see you in the next one. But whatever you do, don't send that letter. Good night.